The markets of Gaza City had returned to some sort of normality. But that's now under threat, just in time for the holy month of Ramadan.
The fears are very great, whether for securing people's daily needs or for the return of war.
Prices across the Strip doubled as news of the Israeli aid blockade swept across Gaza.
The situation has deteriorated a lot. People are afraid that famine will return again, and we are in this blessed month. The prices of goods should be lower than this.
Trucks filled with aid sat idle at border crossings as the Israeli Prime Minister set out his position.
There will be no free lunches. If Hamas thinks that it will be possible to enjoy the conditions of Phase 1 without us accepting hostages, it is very mistaken.
A new US proposal calls for the temporary truce to be extended until mid-April in an effort to secure the release of more Israeli hostages. Hamas insists the focus should be on Phase 2 of the originally agreed ceasefire and says the decision to blockade amounts to cheap blackmail.
You only have three options here. Number one, diplomacy solves the problem. Unlikely. Number two, the Israelis go back to military campaign. And number three, you get, 5, 6, 7 more weeks of relative quiet.
This major fracture may well have been predictable. Negotiations on a longer-term truce were meant to start back in February, but were repeatedly delayed and derailed, meaning peace in Gaza is now looking more like a pipe dream.
In Tel Aviv, the decision to cut off Gaza aid divided families of the remaining hostages.
In my opinion, they should have never started with the humanitarian supply.
The fate of the Israeli hostages is tied to the fate of the Gazans,
with potentially dire humanitarian consequences for both. Matthew Doran, ABC News, Jerusalem.